Welcome to my naturally sweetened life. Let's water bath can pickled jalapenos. Fill your canner halfway full of hot tap water. You don't have to fill it too much with water because the weight of the jars is going to raise the level of the water later on in the process. Also, for now, I'm going to leave the heat off because I have some prep work to do and I don't want the water to start to boil. Wash your jars in hot soapy water. This is a great time to inspect your jars for any cracks or chips. If you do find any blemishes in your jars, just go ahead and throw away that jar. You don't want anything getting in the way of a good seal. You can also use quart jars or pint jars for this recipe. It really depends on what your family needs. Because my family loves these pickled jalapenos, it just makes sense for me to use quart jars. So that's what I'll be using for this recipe. Now that the jars are clean and prepped, it's time to clean the jalapenos. Cover the jalapenos with cool water. Agitate them with your hands in the water to make sure all of the dirt and debris is off. For this next step, please make sure that you wear gloves. Normally when I'm cooking, I can get away with cutting up 1 or 2 jalapenos. But today, I am cutting up 5 pounds of jalapenos, so I know that afterward, if I don't have gloves on, it's going to burn the rest of the day. Hold the jalapeno at the end, like the stem end where it was hanging on the plant. It acts like a little handle, so hold on to that and then work your way from the tip of the jalapeno back towards the stem, cutting the jalapeno into 1/4 inch pieces or 1/4 inch coins. And you want to leave the seeds and the membrane inside of the jalapeno. Do not take them out because we want that heat. Continue slicing the jalapenos and putting them in the clean, prepared jars until all of them have been processed. It should fill 6 quarts. Now that the majority of our prep work is done, I'm going to turn on the burner to medium-high and let the water heat up to almost a simmer. In the meantime, we're going to start working on the brine. To fill our jars, you're going to need 6 cups of raw apple cider vinegar and 6 cups of water. Add to that 1½ cups of honey. Turn the heat on to medium-high and allow the brine to come up to a simmer. Be sure to stir everything together and make sure the honey is dissolved. Add 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt to each quart jar. I like to add the salt directly to the jar because the hot brine helps it dissolve. Once the brine comes up to a simmer, begin to pour the brine over the jalapenos up to a 1/2 inch headspace. And I believe I forgot to say this while we were packing the jars. The jalapenos and the brine both need to be at the 1/2 inch headspace. Push the debubbling tool on the outer edges of the jar, pushing inward to release all of the air bubbles from your jar. Wipe the rims of your jar with a clean cloth, then add your lids, and then put on your rings. Place your jars into the canner and make sure that your water covers the jars by 1 to 2 inches. Then we'll place the lid on top of the canner, wait for it to come to a full boil, set your timer. For quarts, it'll be 15 minutes. Once the 15 minutes is up, you want to turn the heat off, take the lid off of the canner, and let everything cool off so that the water is no longer boiling and it's had time to cool down a bit. Now that it's been 5 or 10 minutes, gently pull the jars out of your canner using your jar grabbers. Let them cool completely, and then come back, take the rings off, check for a good seal, and then wash your jars with hot soapy water. Label your jars with what the contents are and what year you made them, and store them in a cool, dry place for up to a year. Wait for a minimum of 4 days before opening a jar and trying them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.